I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of Kpsn. We hope you all had a wonderful February vacation. While many of us were relaxing, 3 members of our KP wrestling team were at school practicing every day in preparation for the state competition. It was all work and no play for Cam Smith, Brad Oliverio, and Nick DeGloria. And as many of our KP athletes have shown us in the past, that kind of dedication is what gets you to the payday. We are proud to announce that senior Brad Oliverio, who competes in the 220-pound weight class, came out of the state meet as the Massachusetts D2 state champion. He won the title on February 18th at the state meet held at Algonquin High School. He took down a tough competitor, Brad White from North Attleboro, and wrote his name in the history books. We talked to him about this amazing achievement.
I just remember we were hand fighting for like the whole period, and then there was about 20 seconds left and he had to score, so we went in to shoot, and I remember I blocked him and I got on top for control for 2 points, and I looked at the clock and there was 20 seconds left, and I was just kind of like, wow, I just won a state championship.
I'm very happy with what Brad has done. He has chosen to take the responsibility, do the work that needs to get done, and it shows that it doesn't matter what your skill level is when you start at. That kid literally went like 1 in 25, and now he's a Hockomock champ, he's a sectional champ, he just won D2 states, and he's the 7th best kid in the whole state. And now you can claim that he is one of the top kids in New England. So wrestling is one of those things where literally it doesn't matter when you decide to get good. I mean, he was just an average wrestler. He was a 50-50 guy when you sent him out, and all of a sudden, 4 weeks left of the season, he kicked in an overdrive, and now we're sitting there. We got to put his name on the board in memoriam of his great season.
2 of our wrestlers qualified at all states to move on to the New England meet happening this weekend in Providence. Oliverio placed 7th at all states, and senior Nick DeGloria placed 5th in the 182-pound weight class.
Nick and Brad getting to this point is a huge accomplishment. Those 2 have worked extremely hard, and Nick, he is the hardest working kid in the room. I would say he's the hardest working kid in the school. I've never seen someone so dedicated to a sport and the love of the sport that he has. Those kids, Brad and Nick, they give it their all. I can't say anything else, but they've made me so proud as a coach, and I'm very excited to see what they do this weekend at New England's. And it's anybody's game. Nobody knows anything about anybody, and it's very exciting.
DeGloria and I are just going to go out there and we're just going to rip it up. So we've just got nothing to lose, so I mean, there's no holding back. We're both just going to go out there and give it our best. You know, it's our last time wrestling. Might as well go out with a bang.
Congratulations, boys, and we hope you find more success this weekend. Our state champion football team enjoyed much-deserved recognition right before break. You may have noticed there were quite a few guys walking around the school with some heavy-duty hardware. KPSN's Tim Watson is here with that story.
The state championship trophy is the ultimate symbol of being the best there is in your division, but that will stay here in the trophy case until death do us part. But the Super Bowl rings will belong to the individual members of the 2017 football team to cherish forever. They are a little impractical to wear, but certainly impressive to look at. Few precious objects can match the aura of this symbol of the greatest achievement, the championship.
Big team, looking for really big rings. They need some really nice things. Yeah, we coming for your team. Yeah, we coming for your team. We need some really nice things.
When I first started planning out the rings, I thought it was going to take a lot longer than it did. And working with the sales rep, she said, you know, we actually may have them in time. And because we felt like the end of we usually have it the last weekend in January, so we we ended up bumping it out a couple weeks because the season went longer and I didn't think I could get the coats in and all that stuff. So when we did that, she said I definitely can get them in. So I figured at that point, why tell them, we'll just kind of keep it as a surprise.
The other 3 captains and myself, walked up on stage and gave our final speeches. And, Coach Lee was like, when Mrs. O, they're all like, okay, so we're gonna close up. So I announced it, Coach Lee just had some final words for us. Expecting that he's gonna say like, congrats on the season, or like, thank you or anything like that. And so he has us step back and he says, just one more thing. And he started playing Big Rings. And that was kind of our song throughout the season towards the end of it. And everyone knew right away what was happening. So the coaches walked out from behind the curtain with the table, and everyone started going nuts. So it's hard to explain the feeling of it. But.
Captains are finished talking. Coach puts on Drake's song, I Need a Really Big Team, and we got some really big rings. And I'm like, hold up, what? And the curtain moved to the side, and they rolled the rings forward, and I'm just like, oh, they did not just do this. I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, what?
Nobody had seen them up until that point. I designed the rings and I didn't know, I thought they were cool, but I didn't know what the kids were gonna think, and that's who I wanted to be pleased with them. And so as soon as they opened it up, Gio was running around, going nuts, and everybody was just going crazy. You could hear them, and some of us, there's a couple people have it on film, and it's really cool to see that moment of that everybody was excited about them.
So most of you have seen it. They're super pretty. The top, it's got the KP on it with a bunch of diamonds. I'll say they're real just because it's better. But on the side, one side it has our helmet and it has the feathers on it. And it says our name and our number, our last name and our number. On the other side, it has the MIAA logo and it says 12-0, and it says undefeated. And around the top of it, it says 2016 state champions. And on the inside, it's engraved, it says first Super Bowl win in school history. And underneath it says the date, December 3rd, 2016. So I've looked at it thousands of times. It's kind of amazing that it happened.
Our team's rings were made by Jostens, the same company that makes the NFL Super Bowl rings. And in our interview, Coach Lee expressed how grateful he was that the community stepped up to help fundraise so the team could have these cherished symbols that will always convey hard work pays off.
That is going to do it for this edition of KPSN. We'll see you all back here next Thursday.